Hi, everyone, and welcome to my podcast. I'm Ellie Huang. I'm a natural health practitioner in Chinese medicine, as well as an NLP master coach and a beauty therapist. And today I'm excited to have Tracy Tomlinson with us. Tracy is a personal energy coach, a blockage release consultant, a speaker and facilitator in the area of personal energy transformation. And her background is extensive and includes a corporate career. Much like me, I did have a corporate career before this too. Transition into being a business coach, working in self-development industry, and as an entrepreneur before transitioning into the field of personal energy over 7 years ago. Tracy has studied in the area of personal energy and is accredited in releasing blockages and much more with living illumination and having helped many, many people live an empowered and fulfilled life over these years. That is great, Tracy. It's quite a long list of things. You sound like me. We've done a lot. So tell me, what got you into switching from a corporate career, much like me, into sort of the complete, change into energy, helping people and healing.
Thanks very much for having me on today, Ellie. I really appreciate it. It's great to be with you and all of your listeners. Um, the switch from corporate, I got to a point where I thought I was starting to follow my feelings and I just knew this wasn't it for me anymore. And I resigned with no job to go to, basically. It didn't feel right for me to keep turning up and getting the paycheck if my heart and soul wasn't in it. So I took some time out and basically followed my nose and started working for myself, started consulting. One thing led to another. Then I became a business coach. Then I got involved in the personal development industry and worked in that industry for some time. And then things went on from there. And I got to a point where I was really clear that there was something more for me that I hadn't yet found. There was something that could enhance my communication
Yeah.
with myself
Mm,
and with others in life. You know, I felt like when I was challenged in business scenarios, it was often around communicating with people.
yeah.
And that's where I felt I had blocks at the time. So I was really started to search for, okay, well, what's next for me
Mm,
around that? And you know what it's like. You take one step after the
yeah.
next, and that
Yeah.
opens a door, and then that opens a door. And then I got to a point in my life where I was really experiencing getting quite a bit of intuition
Yeah.
coming through. And that really set my curiosity off. I really got to the point where I really wanted to learn how to discover that more, how to master that. And to cut a long story short, here we are today.
Mm.
That's when I found living illumination,
So tell
essentially.
me, what have you learned? What has been the most important learning lesson so far for you?
I think the most important learning lesson is to know who you are, your soul part,
Yeah.
and to follow what's right for you.
Mm, yeah.
Because typically we live in such busy lives,
Yeah.
in such a cluttered world
Yeah.
where we have lots of responsibilities, we take on lots of roles. Uh,
Mm,
you know, there's lots of different demands,
yeah.
duties, and obligations on us and our energy and our time.
Yeah.
For me, one of the most important lessons that I had to learn was, or how do I become the master of my energy? And I'm still learning that. But
Yeah.
in that process is being true to yourself.
Yeah. So how do you explain energy? What would be your definition of energy? Because you talk about energy blockages and that. So in your terms and what would you say is energy and how does that affect us and the energy blocks that you talk about?
Yeah. So at the crux of it, who we are as a soul, we're an energetic being.
Yeah. Yes,
First,
and I know that more than anyone in Chinese medicine. We're all energy. That's right.
that's it.
Yes.
That's it. So we are all energy, you know, and our soul part is our starting point or our priority, you could say.
Yeah.
But in the Western world, particularly, for the most part, we don't learn that growing up.
No.
Learn to prioritize our soul part
Yeah.
and our energy. We don't typically wake up in the morning saying to ourselves, I am a soul, I am unlimited.
Yes.
I have unlimited potential.
That's right. Yeah.
We wake up turning the alarm off very often, or putting the snooze button on,
Yeah.
ending, and not wanting to get out of bed. And then thinking of all the roles and responsibilities we have to fulfill on that day, where we have to be, by when, for who, to do what.
Yeah, our to-do list, yeah.
Exactly, what we need to deliver on. Versus, what is the potential of my soul for this lifetime? What am I really meant to be doing? What am I really meant to be putting my energy into? Am I fulfilled? Am I experiencing joy?
Yeah. And we put our energies into things that we shouldn't a lot of the time. You know, we've only got so many hours in a day, and even unconsciously, you know, you can probably confirm this, but we put our energy into things that we shouldn't be putting our energy and our thoughts into.
Absolutely.
And how does that affect us, Tracy? When we're putting our energies into the wrong, you know, the wrong thoughts, wrong actions, consuming our energy in, you know, in negative ways.
Yeah, and I think you would see this all the time, Ellie. People get sick.
Yeah.
So we're unhappy when we're putting our energy into the wrong things and we're going in the wrong direction. It's because we don't have discernment, or we're not discerning what's best for us. Unfortunately, we try and live a cookie cutter life. What we see on TV, what our parents did, what people in our community or our friendship groups or our peer groups or whatnot are doing. We very often think we need to follow in the same patterns of the people around us, and that is very often not the case. We're not a cookie cutter. We're a unique individual soul. There's no other soul on the planet the same as you or me or anyone else.
I think that's such an important point. We are all individual souls. We can't copy what someone else does, or what, you know, model lives on someone else. We have to create our own path, don't we?
That's it. And it's so easy to jump on Google and look to Google for the answers for everything these days.
Yeah.
So much information there.
Oh.
But we need to stop as well and step back and go, okay, well, what do I need? Because you can't learn, whilst there's lots of tips that people can give us along the way, and some of those undoubtedly are useful.
Yeah.
Without our own discernment, nobody else can tell us how to live our life.
Yeah.
Nobody else can tell us what is best for our best interest, for our energy. Only we can actually discern that.
Yeah.
And in order to do that, we need a few things need to happen. We need to be able to go within and connect. We need to be able to connect with the energy from the universe that's coming in for us on a daily basis.
And how do you suggest people do that? Like, a lot of people, even my own clients, they may have never even tried meditation, or they think meditation is sitting cross-legged, you know, on some rug or some stone up on a mountain and just not allowing any thoughts to come in. Like, you know, what are your tips for, you know, getting people to really get in touch with their inner soul?
Yeah, so there's a few things on that. One is to get out into nature. You know, because we come back to our feelings when we're in nature.
Yeah.
And our feelings are the starting point for, you know, our soul part and sensing what's best for us and starting to discern what's best for us. We also hold free online meditation classes where people can come along and experience a guided meditation and then have a sense of how to do that for themselves again when they're not online with us, for example, in their own life. So they can find that through Living Illumination.
Yeah, I'll put that link up. Yep.
Yeah. There's so much I could say.
Yeah.
We have tears in our aura. That's the other thing.
So what's an
And
aura for people that don't know? What's an aura and how do we get in touch with that?
yeah, our aura is our energetic body, if you like, our energy part. So you may have had a sense, or the listeners may have had a sense or an experience before of having a gut feel,
Yeah.
is a good example.
Yeah.
So you've had a gut feel. Okay, what is that gut feel?
Mm.
Are you feeling it in your organs? You are in a sense,
Mm.
but there's more to it than that. It's part of your sensing being.
Mm. It's
It's
not the physical. We're not feeling it physically in the organs. It's more just in that area where the energy, like we call it the sacral plexus chakra or the solar plexus. Yeah.
yeah, yeah. So yeah, to know and understand our personal energy gives us
Mm.
tremendous power.
Mm.
And we have to start with that soul part. I mean, obviously we run workshops on how to
Yeah.
connect people with that, because
Yeah.
very often we have blocks. We all
Mm.
have blocks. Like,
Yeah.
everyone has
We've
blocks.
all got blocks, so no one is free of energy blocks. And as soon as we come in contact with a stressful situation or even just a thought in our mind, we create those blocks. So it's constantly trying to rebalance your body into harmony, would you say? Try to, that's how I describe it to my clients, just trying to always stay as free flowing energy as we can. We're always going to come across blocks. There's not like, long periods of time where we're going to be in blockage free for long periods of time. We're constantly coming across different blocks at different certain times of
And
the day or week.
and we actually meant to.
Yeah.
Question is, do we know how to clear those blocks? And
Mm,
do we know how to navigate around them and
yeah.
heal them?
Yeah.
So we actually have master souls.
Yeah.
And
And what's a master soul?
a master soul is a soul that we have picked to guide us on our journey this lifetime. And we have a team of them. So it's like,
Wow.
if you think you're an Olympic athlete, how many advisors does an Olympic athlete have?
Yeah, to have a whole team to support their journey, don't they?
Exactly. We do too, for our energy, for our soul part. We
Mm.
have a team of master souls to guide us on our journey. And we've chosen them specifically based on what we wanted to achieve this lifetime.
So you're saying that we can achieve whatever we want to achieve if we just tap into the people that are helping us, our, master soul guiders and that. And how do we do that?
So we run a workshop where we actually get you connected with
Mm,
them. We teach you the energy techniques of how to cleanse your aura and how
mm,
to communicate with your master souls. And then you
mm.
can start having a two-way dialogue with them,
Wow.
knowing what your gifts of communication are. And I think that's the critical part of this picture, Ellie, because
Mm.
a lot of people are very in tune with their intuition, their gut feel.
But
Could
some people may not do something about it. Like people may have it there, they know what it is, but not a lot of people take action to follow through with that intuitive part of themselves.
Totally. But I think the key thing is most people don't know that they have four gifts of perception.
And what are they?
So they are prophecy, vision, intuition, and feeling. And we've all
Amazing.
got all four.
Mm.
But most people think that it's just intuition.
Yeah.
They don't realize there's three more,
Mm-hmm.
and we all have access to them. But the question is, what's your primary gift of
Mm.
perception or gift of communication?
Mm.
And your primary one is the one that your master souls use to communicate with you too.
So if people learn this, how can that improve their life and their health once they know how to tap into that? What will they feel or see, different from what they're experiencing now?
Yeah, great question. And it was really good. I started to reflect on my journey when I first came across living illumination, and when I first learnt these tools, and when I first started on, this journey for myself. What were the key differences that I experienced
Mm.
in my life? One of them was I had a lot more time. A lot more time.
Wow. Mm.
Was I started to discern how to use my time.
Yeah.
where to put my energy,
Yeah.
where not to put my energy.
Yeah.
And once I started working on my personal energy, you know, I had a few one-on-one consultations, I did some courses, etc. Then I found that the things that were wasting my time before
Mm-hmm.
were falling away.
That is so important, isn't it? Like we mentioned earlier, where we put our time is so important. And is it, beneficial and productive for us in the long term?
That's right.
And we continue, like, I think you see this as well, but people like, us as humans, we just continue the same pattern day in, day out. We'll do the same thing every day until we come to that realization and actually make a conscious change to do something. Otherwise, we're just moving along like clockwork, we just continue doing the same thing. We think the same thoughts, we do the same actions day in, day out.
Yeah, absolutely. And so with that refinement in communication, I found that I had a lot more energy. So on the one sense, I could actually do a lot more too.
Yeah.
So I had more energy, I had more time, and I had more clarity. So I stopped putting my time, my energy, and my attention into the places that didn't serve me anymore
Yeah.
because of that clarity.
Mm.
And I was, as we all do, barking up the wrong tree in a few areas of my life at the time.
Yeah, for sure.
And you know, I was quite surprised with some of the changes I ended up making because they weren't on my plan. Because what we typically do is we operate from our intellect. This is
Yes.
the plan. This is what
Yeah.
I need to do. This is what I
Yeah.
think. But our thinking is not going to get us where we really want to go. That's not where the fulfillment is. That's
No,
not where the peace is.
that's it.
That's the other thing. When you've got fulfillment and joy and peace, your health benefits.
Yeah.
You know, regardless of where your health is at,
Mm.
it's going to improve in some form. Tell me if I'm wrong.
Yeah, yeah, no, for sure.
If you are experiencing fulfillment, joy, and peace on a regular basis.
So would that be across all different areas of life? Because say people are in a job that is causing them so much stress and they're not being fulfilled, they're going in just more stressed and causing more problems. And same with relationships. I'm sure people out there are in like the wrong relationship they know they shouldn't be in, but they don't have the strength or they don't know the willpower or perhaps the awareness or they don't even know how to get out of that stressful situation, whether it's a job or a relationship. What would you say to those people?
Absolutely. Those people typically book a session with me.
Yes.
We do what's called a life awakening blockage release
Mm-hmm.
session, where I ascertain for them what is the biggest block they have to heal this lifetime. Because when we're stuck like that or challenged in that way, shape, or form, and we want to get through it, we just need to clear that block basically to get more clarity, to get access to the clarity. And then the other piece of the puzzle is through our master souls, there is always a solution. So once we clear that block and heal that, and you get to know understand yourself at a level that you've never understood yourself before, regardless of all the whatever you might have done in the past, because I'd done lots of stuff before this as well. It's just a totally different way to operate, because then you can turn to your master souls. It's like having a board of directors.
Yeah.
And there's, you appointed.
They've got more experience, more knowledge than you for you to ask them.
Absolutely. Is it in my best interest to stay in this role?
Yeah.
Yes or no? For how long? Or with this company? Or, you can ask them anything about your health, your wealth, your relationships, and they will have words of wisdom for us. Stop, keep going, get out of there, whatever it might be. Often we have challenges because we have lessons to learn, and we haven't learned the lessons. Sometimes we're a bit stubborn.
Yes, we are on this earth sometimes to learn the lesson, get the learnings, and then we can move on to being, that helps us grow. Definitely like, experiences, obstacles, and challenges also help us grow as people and develop our soul and develop our awareness and consciousness.
Absolutely. And we need them. I think that's
Yeah.
another thing in this day and age. People are like, I don't want challenges. Well, if we don't get challenges, we're not growing, are we?
Yeah, how are we going to grow? And that's the whole point of life, isn't it? To grow. So what is your last takeaway message to people? Like, what can we do, in the short term, to really get us on the path of having that awareness? So what's one tip that we can do straight away?
One tip is to eat live life force containing foods.
So not the processed junk that you get out of packets.
So, if you were to change something in your life, if
Yeah.
you're already growing some form of fruit, vegetable, something that you can eat at home,
Mm,
just grow one thing. Just get one tomato plant or one, lettuce,
yeah.
going and
Yeah.
start consuming that picked fresh daily.
Mm.
And just by making that little change, if you're not already doing that, that can, little changes are better than no changes.
Yeah. And if you only live in an apartment and you don't have your own garden, then definitely try to eat as much fresh fruit and vegetables, organic, as much as possible, isn't it? Because we aren't getting in touch with nature. And like you said earlier, it's so important we do have that time to go to nature and to do a nice hike or a walk, in sand, because we do live in, a concrete jungle and we live in the city, most of us. And it's really hard to make that time to, I'm guilty of that, to make that time to really go in and get in touch with nature, because you just feel so much calmer when you're by the ocean, you're listening to the waves and you're having a beautiful hike along the beach and the sand. We were there around Christmas. We're up at the Central Coast, but yeah, for many people, we don't get to do that unless you're living right next to a beach. We don't make that time to go down and do something in nature, at least more than once a week.
Yeah. And that's the thing, when we remove the blocks, we automatically do more of the things that serve us,
Mm,
like getting more fresh air, going out for more walks, being in nature more.
mm,
We automatically do more
yeah.
of those things that serve our energy.
And all of that helps our health in the long run. We all want to be healthy beings. We don't want to, the stress of daily life and, doing the things that don't serve us, really affect our health and all that. And, we've seen that with the past year with coronavirus and that, people are now realizing how important their health is, and to really prioritize that. And all of this helps us to become healthier people and happier people. When we're healthy, when we're happy, we're healthy. When we're healthy, we're happy.
Absolutely. And just with it, with the turn of the year and it being
Yes.
the start of the new year, a lot of people
Yes.
will be goal setting.
That's it.
And goal setting is great. But when you're still challenged and inhibited by your blocks, how's your goal setting going to go?
Yeah, that's right.
How can you
Yeah.
still be challenged and inhibited?
I think there was a statistics that says basically like about 95% of people that set their New Year's goals, they've given up on them after like not even by the end of January. Yeah.
Exactly. Because most of our goals are coming from our intellect,
Yes, that's right.
not from our feelings.
Mm,
And we haven't removed the blocks in our energy, in our soul
mm.
part and our aura, in order for us to flow freely with the energy that we're meant to.
And that way we can achieve our goals much sooner and they are reality instead of just this dream in the end, isn't it? Or we do a goal and we can't stick to it for more than a couple of weeks.
That's it.
Yeah.
And our goals may change. Here's the thing,
Oh,
when you're
sure.
in tune with your soul part, your goals actually change too.
Yeah. And different parts of our life, we have different goals, whether it's in relationship goals or business goals or personal goals. So, yeah, for sure. We're always evolving and growing, and we should be constantly setting goals and trying to, achieve them. But like you said, if we've got energy blocks, it's going to be a real struggle to get to those goals that we want. And yeah, they may not be the goals that you said our souls really want to achieve, like the intellectual goals. We might think, oh, we want to make $1 million, but is that truly going to make us happy, or is that going to serve us? For different people, it might be for like a business entrepreneur, but for the average person who, who's trying to work really hard to achieve financial goals, it may not be it may not be their path, right, for the
Well, we
moment.
have our wants and our needs, and
Yeah.
you're probably aware of this. And we have our seven chakras, right?
Mm.
And so I do a chakra healing
Yeah.
consultation for people too. And you know, we have one chakra that's based around our wants and one chakra that's based around our needs. And of
Yeah.
course, all 7 chakras relate to different parts
That's
of
it.
our body.
Mm.
And the thing is, very often when we're operating from our intellect, we're putting our wants ahead of our needs.
Yeah.
And we're very often not even in tune with what our real needs are.
Yeah. We just want what
We're,
I want this. I want a house. I want money. I want a nice car.
because
But what
we're
do we really need? What does our soul need? Yeah, that's so true. It's a good reminder.
well, it's like we're, you know, living life upside down, you could even say.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, Tracy, it was such a good conversation. I'm sure, we could talk for a lot longer, but I'll put your links up, and for anyone that wants to get in touch with Tracy, I'm sure, might be interested in one of her workshops, or just to check out her website, or yeah, have a chat with her further if it's something that you think that would be helpful for you. So I'd like to thank you once again for jumping on. I'm sure our listeners learned quite a lot. I did. I learned quite a few new things that would help us to live that fulfilled, happy, healthy life. Thanks, Tracy.
Thanks for having me, Ellie.